Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to EGFC Season 5. The EGFC season begins right from today, and it's going to be an amazing set of 8 weeks and a lot of weekly action right here. But it all starts from today, and with me joining here, it's going to be none other than Ruin Jerry for the EAFC, 24 battle. I'm pretty excited and at the same time, like, hyped up. How about you?
I'm also waiting for an amazing game to unfold over here. It is going to be between Howard and William and Mary in this first match for the day. And if I'm not wrong, Howard might be one of those teams that is there in the top spot for this tournament as well, with 4 wins in their pocket.
Exactly. I think we have a total of 5 to 6 teams who are going to be entirely competing up against each other in a round robin format. And Williams and Mary and Montana States have been having a pretty toe-to-toe competition. Again, if you talk about today's matchup, that is going to be none other than Howard going up against William and Mary. These two teams in the previous year, in the first half of the entire, I believe, round robin, they did had a pretty interesting battle. And this is kind of a revenge matchup because we
Hmm.
saw that team William and Mary actually go down with a 6-1 aggregate score. That, like, it was a clean win for the side of Howard University in a 2-0 fashion. Like, that was a complete dominance. So there's a lot at stake for the side of William and Mary. As when you talk about ranking, William and Mary, somewhere down the line, they find themselves up in the middle of the pack. So if they really want to make it to the playoffs, if they really want to get that higher seed advantage, it all starts from today, and this is the week one. We are going to be having 8 weeks of back-to-back action, so what better time to start off their win streak right from today? But then again, how do you feel that this factor, this break which they got for almost a month, might have affected the team? Maybe they would have really, sharpened their skills. Maybe they would have really word reviews the opponent and may have came with a completely different kind of play which we usually didn't expect to.
So I think more we play against a team or more we play against a player or a team, the more we understand the strategy that they go for or like their main go-to kind of positions or how they actually plan to make their lineup work in a certain way. So I think William and Mary have kind of figured out or might have actually figured out how Howard University does work in this sense, because the last time around they did lose both the games and they were 5 goals behind, if I'm not wrong, with an aggregate score of 6-1, as our pundit mentioned. But because of that loss, I think they would have actually maybe made some kind of change in the lineup or some kind of change in the roster, or at least a bit of strategy as well when coming this time around in this game for the day.
Exactly, but the game is just yet started. We have Williams on Mary starting things up. Rafinha passing away towards a big long wing pass, and that's a complete through ball right in the middle of the pass. There comes the ball, but that's going to be the interception, and now the possession is gained from the side of Howard University.
A bit more pacing coming out, and maybe the first opportunity as well, but will be denied by the goalie who was pushing a bit further in as well. Again, I feel like there's a bit more pacing. Oh, there we go. Once again, it's chance after chance, and this time also it's going to be ending with a corner and a short corner. This time around, it might be a second cross in, but will not find any kind of attacker to take that pass. Again, interception, a lot of opportunities being presented, a lot of shots being taken as well. I think in this first half, at least one of the teams will be happy.
Exactly, and I feel that's going to be the start of William and Marion. I mean, so far they have been having so much presence and possession for themselves, but then again, one shot being attempted, and that's going to be for the start of Howard University. Team William and Mary are going to pass back, have some passes in the middle, trying to make a room for themselves and get that one through ball that brings them all the way towards the opening counter field, but it's going to be an outside right now. Alba passes will get back towards Modric, Bellingham. I think this looks to be a pretty promising lineup, and if with this amount of players having in the ultimate team, I do believe that William and Mary at times could have a deadly attack, but a missed opportunity for the side of Howard this time, and that's going to be an advantage gain for Williams and Mary back.
Yeah, and again, like we saw a bit like 5 minutes before, there is a bit more pacing when you take a look at the Barcelona side, the forwards, and I think he is making very good use of it with Rafinha taking the first shot, and that is going to be the side of FC Barcelona, the side of Howard University, if I'm not wrong, taking the lead pretty early on into the game itself. And William and Mary, they have a lot of work to do if they want to catch up to these behemoths occupying that top spot with that victory as well. And they have a revenge, also a chance to get to the top of the leaderboard as well for the series.
I mean, yeah, the players have really went classical when it comes to the game. You know, it's a classical El Clasico moment, but nonetheless, the first goal now comes in, and that's going to be for the side of Howard University, but not for too long. I think, you know, like Williams and Mary, they didn't took quite long to respond back, and this is going to be a missed chance, shot right on the target, but now it seems to be a promising play. It's going to be all down to Lewandowski. Oh, the through ball is just so beautiful, but the keeper gives no chance for the side of Howard University. This would have really been a big advantage for them. Like, you did mention how one goal would make a difference, but Vinny Jr. looking promising, goes for the first attempt. The redirect is good, but what a fantastic defense right there. Keeper being magnificent with his gloves and able to stop the ball not just once but twice while being on the target, and while being the only player up to defend the net. It ain't an easy job, but once again, brilliant stuff from the side of Howard University. And William and Mary, despite having two chances for themselves, this is going to be the third one, and this is going to be the one that they will get right up the scorecard. It's a 1-1 scoreline, and things are really getting interesting from here on.
And I feel like William and Mary will be breathing a sigh of relief after getting that equalizer. A bit more pressure being dropped from those shoulders will give them a bit more breathing room as well. And now it's time to devise a new strategy to get through the defensive line from Howard University. They did it once, they can surely do it once more, but they need to keep their defense in check as well, which is what is being penetrated right now. But Mendy is there to maybe put a stop to it for now. I think we saw the defensive line of William and Mary being breached quite a lot more. Throughout the game, I feel like we've seen more shots, like I think at least 3 times more shots. And now again, Lewandowski getting an opportunity, a bit of a through ball. Oh, nice one by Joao Felix. Nice step over and a nice shot from Howard University, not giving any chance for the side of William and Mary to breathe, widening the lead once again by 1 more goal, making the score being 2-1. It is the aggregate being taken, so the more goals you score, the more points you're going to be securing for yourselves.
And I feel that this is going to be the home field for the side of William and Mary for the first time. So it looks interesting, but for now it seems to be that Howard is looking for the third one. Great work on the defense, but lucky there for a foul being called off from referee. 38th minute down, and we have only 7 minutes remaining for the first half whistle to go off. And I feel that William and Mary has really shown a good level of competition today. Unlike what the previous face-off showed, but now a big interception right on the counter field. And outside back once again. And as you can see, the possession looks so powerful when it comes down for the side of Team William and Mary. But how do you manage to come up with these counter plays when it's down to Rafinha looking for a pass in the middle, and there comes a pass, Lewandowski. Once again, it's the keeper. Second save of the day for William and Mary, and the game goes on. 3 minutes for the first half whistle to go down.
Oh, and like our content mentioned, I feel like William and Mary have done their homework, not letting Howard University get up on them or get like more of a lead up on them, because last time around that is what happened. It was a 6-1. So I think in the second game they did not score even once. So from that, I think they've learned from the mistakes, and we will be going into halftime. But again, I feel like William and Mary is still putting up a pretty great fight against Howard University, though they are a bit down in terms of possession. They did break through the defensive line once. They did get past the goalkeeper, though very, very amazing work on the defense. We saw, I think, a triple save in a single attack by the goalkeeper and a defensive player as well. But a very good attempt coming from William and Mary. We have 1 more half left before we put a sign of close to this game number 1. But it is still Howard University 1 up on William and Mary for now. 2-1 being the score.
Exactly, and I think those are 2 massive ones from the side of Howard University. them having an advantage at this time really does feel that this is gonna hurt back a lot. But let's see how the recovery does come through, because I think the first half of the entire 4 halves that you guys, these guys are gonna play really comes down to how long is it gonna take for them to get in that perfect spot. They are going to be completely warmed up, they are going to be completely prepped up, and are going to work on those loopholes that we have seen how Howard completely exploit for Williams and Mary. And as you can see, possession yet again being all the way up for the side of Howard University. A big lob pass. This could have looked really, this actually looked pretty dangerous, but nonetheless, the pass is now back and the possession is back towards the side of Howard University. Williams and Mary have really struggled to keep and maintain their possession.
Yeah, I feel like that lob again could have been pretty dangerous if it did latch onto the attacking player properly. But I think it was a bit too far forward for him to get to it, though. But again, Howard University is more so capitalizing on that Lewandowski, going for those through balls, going for those passes, going for those lobs, everything aimed at Lewandowski, getting to it with a very, very good pace as well. And I feel like, that attack did come to nothing, but it does give an opportunity for a counter-attack and advantage being played as well. There we go. Lewandowski once again with the ball, has the pass, has the kick, and has the goal, closing it out 3-1 again. 2-goal lead now for Howard University over William and Mary, and it is looking pretty fun for the side of Howard so far, and William and Mary will have their work cut out for them for now. They have 2 goals and just a few minutes left to make their mark in this game number 1.
Exactly. I feel, like they have an entire 30-minute timer remaining. That, at least scoring one, at least keeping it close will still keep the hopes alive for the side of William and Mary. But as I mentioned, they have been really struggling to maintain those possession. But now another chance for Howard. But the keeper is just so magnificent on the nets today, and I feel that there's just no stopping him. Pedri passing on all the way towards Lewandowski, but an interception being made towards a counter attack, and the field is completely gonna go on. Maybe the 4th is what they are looking at, but it's gonna be a goal kick. Big chance yet again. You see where the pressure actually comes from, and being at the William and Mary States, I do feel that this ain't gonna be an easy walkover. First game, it's your home matchup, and this matchup is eventually important, because if your aggregate goes down to draw, the most number of goals you do on an away match really kind of matters. So, and that you can already see, like Howard University has scored 3 goals on a away match, so it's gonna really be an interesting factor. Nonetheless, Rodrigo passing it all towards the side of Valde, but Valde is gonna completely turn him down. Rafina taking ball towards the left corner and trying to get a through ball all the way towards Lewandowski, who has been an amazing playmaker for the day. I think this could be an hat-trick assist for him if he actually converts it down, but that's not going to be for too long, and it's going to be an interception made from the side of none other than William and Mary, but not for too long. Alright, Bellingham steals it back, passes it back towards Vinny Jr. The law pass call has been called off, and this pass looks perfect. Maybe what they could really make a play from here. The pass is right on the middle, but Vinny Jr. kind of just intervenes in the middle, and the ball is off the nets.
A lot of opportunities, a lot of wasted opportunities, so to speak. Again, just trying to find someone inside the box to pass through, and I think that will be intercepted once again. This has been the show so far for the side of William and Mary. They have not been able to convert these opportunities into goals for now, but I think they still have a 15-minute margin left to close the gap by at least 1 more goal, so that the aggregate does not go too far away from them. But for now, it is 1-3. It is a 2-goal lead still held by the side of Howard University. Vinny Jr. going for the opportunity once again, trying to find someone inside the box. Rodrigo is there, and this time it is going to be bouncing off the legs of the defender, just barely through the corner post. And I think the second time it just barely skimmed the post, and in, I think, a 5-minute margin, so to speak. But this time also deflected from the defender. Lewandowski is there to collect the ball. He will not be intercepted. He will not be stopped. He is an unstoppable man, but will be forced to pass back and maybe trying to get the play to the other side of the field. But again, for now, I feel like the strategy from the side of William and Mary should be to at least get one more goal to maybe just close out the gap so that the aggregate does not get too far away from them. A 2-3 is going to be a respectable score to be defending up against, and our best of two will ensure that the aggregate will be taken the next time around. So maybe the opportunity will present itself. Valverde will go for this goal and will get the shot as well. 2-3, and finally, William and Mary's prayers have been answered. They do get kind of closer as well. Just one more goal away from it being equalized. 7 minutes left in this first game.
Exactly, and well, that's the confidence you need, and there's still a chance for him to equalize right here. The pass is perfect, right in the middle of the box, Lewandowski, but it's going to be the first corner for the side of Williams and Mary. William and Mary, this is so looking doable for them. It feels that the stars have aligned for them all of a sudden. The confidence is reflected in the dribble right there, and what a magnificent work right there. Oh, that's another one. This time it's going to be Lewandowski. A 3-4 scoreline, and this seems to be a pretty a 2-4 scoreline, and this seems to be a pretty interesting one. Lewandowski has been the man of the show for the entire first game, and man, just a moment back we saw the side of none other than William and Mary actually making the first, an attempt to maybe close down the aggregate and maybe close to just one goal, but all of a sudden it's an answer back, and it's only a single minute remaining. What's going to be the extra time is going to be a big question. 1 extra minute added to the clock, but that doesn't leave much opportunities. While Howard is still going to be looking on for more. Sansilio is getting contested, a double charge up this time, and this seems to be that the whistle is just about to blow on. But well, Felix has an opportunity, big chance, but finally the whistle goes off, and that's going to be the first game that comes out strongly in the favor of Williams and Mary, and I feel a pretty dominant one at the same time, because this was one of the chances where you do expect a team to really come up strong. It was one of the first games, and I feel like big chance for Howard University nonetheless to maintain this lead and actually take it home.
Yeah, so a 4-2 score, and we didn't mention that again. Like William and Mary was like almost there just in the final 5 minutes, but just barely through the grasp of their fingers, slipped away like water drizzling down. And I think they were just expecting it to be over then and there. But that final Lewandowski kick, that final fast-paced passes inside the box itself enabled that fourth goal for the side of Howard University, making sure that they had the two-goal lead when going into our game number 2 for the day.
Exactly, and once again, being that dominant force, I believe the previous time they did face off up against each other, it was a total aggregate of 6-1 scoreline. And that actually shows that once you give that space towards Howard University, they are surely going to exploit it. And they have been doing it, I feel, for the entire season, so far. They have only lost their game, I believe, once. That too, it was Montana State. And those two are the only ones fighting for the number 1 spot. But game number 2 is going to be starting pretty much soon, and I'd love to see what changes now comes in when it comes down to their formation, because I do believe that William and Mary at certain times we did saw them struggling a little bit with the midfield, even though they had the defense possession. But once they move on for the counter attack, you don't have the proper finisher. You don't have that proper playmaker who really comes up through the wings, really gets you the perfect through ball. And a perfect example for that could be Lewandowski for the side of Howard University. Like, he had, I believe, 2 assists. He had like his goal on his own name, and he was really making a big run and look pretty scary at the same time in the counter field. So let's see what's going to be eventually the changes, but I feel that the players are soon going to get to the servers, and we are going to see this time the away match for the side of Team William and Mary.
Yeah, and it being even the away match, Howard University did put a pretty good show as well, getting 4 up. And I feel like, again, though William and Mary are performing better than what they did the last time around, they still need to put in a bit more, like something that is unexpected, or something that Howard University was like, oh my God, I never expected them to do this. They need to bring out some kind of surprise to take Howard University out from the competition and maybe get that goal lead for themselves as well. But while we are talking about that, we have our game number 2. Let's see if there is any kind of change from either of these teams, because the last time around we did see a small bit of gaps from the side of William and Mary on their defensive line as well. The same can be said about Howard University, but the goalkeeper had a lot of work to do. I think at least 5 or 6 saves from the goalkeeper itself, and then the defensive line did their work, did their part as well, just failing 2 times, giving up 2 goals for the side of William and Mary. For now, the attack still goes in. Lewandowski once again, the man of the hour, the man of the day, but it is going to be defended very spectacularly. This time around, it is not going to work in their favor. But the first shot, the first bit of emotional damage being dealt out to the side of William and Mary. They will be on their tippy toes for now. And Pedri with the ball. They still don't have possession. A bit of a fumble right by the defensive line from the side of Howard University. Now, once again, with the man of the hour, Lewandowski, he will be going for a through ball. Ferran, there is no defender. There's just the goalkeeper, just one person to beat, but there is a defender right by his tails, not giving him an opportunity to pass within the box itself. But again, losing possession within this defensive line is not something that you want to be a part of. That is what will signify your defeat, and that gives Lewandowski an opportunity to get that a score for himself as well.
Exactly. Once again, a big start for the side of Team Lewandowski, and I do believe that this is one of those ideal moments for them to really make sure that they are able to come up on top. For now, ball is going to be back to William and Mary, and love to see how things are going to turn down for them. Nonetheless, the way situations have really turned down all of a sudden for the side of Howard University, of them having a 5-2 aggregate scoreline right now, it's like a 3-goal lead. And once you know you have the lead, you tend to make plays which certainly could be risky at times, and those are the positions where you expect William and Mary to completely be chaotic right in the midfield. Lewandowski this time once again back with the ball, and just look at the way he dribbles around 3 defenders but loses the possession. Vinny Jr. have a chance on the top. It's going to be Alba passing it back towards Modric, and Modric hasn't been utilized at the most, but Vinny Jr. might have a chance here. It's him and the keeper moves away from the net, gives an open opportunity, and that's the first goal. This time it's William and Mary.
Yeah, again, like we did mention before, I feel like what William and Mary's lineup is lacking is that one front man, or like one reliable person that you can, like Lewandowski, that you can depend on to get that through balls directly to your feet, to get that the possession back to you no matter what happens in the front lines. And I feel like that one lacking element might be the reason why they were a bit behind the game, number one. But now I feel like Vinny Jr. is being utilized in such a way that he's the one taking all the pressure from on his shoulders from the midfield as well, and being that one front man for the entirety of the side of William and Mary. Again, Vinny Jr. going for this forward, goes for the kick and gets the goal. And for the first time in the series, we see William and Mary with that lead secured for themselves. The goal being 2-1, and if we look at the aggregate, it is good. Oh, that might be a card. A bit further down the line, advantage call for now. Lewandowski with the possession. The goalie goes for it, but will not be getting it. Is it a card though? I feel like that is good. No. I think Mendy did get a yellow for that tackle right there. Will need to either sub him out or maybe just play it a bit more carefully. But for now, I feel like the possession, once again, it's still going to be full of Howard University all round. I feel like they have a lot more possession, though. Once again, like I did mention before, Vinny Jr. is taking it all up on his shoulders, trying to find the man inside the box. Will go for the shot as well, but once again, the goalkeeper comes to the rescue and puts an end to this aggression coming in from the side of William and Mary.
Exactly. I feel back again. Team William and Mary, they have a trail of just 1 goal, I think. But, this could be a chance.
Ooh.
And this is going to be the 3rd goal this time from William and Mary. Man, they have given their setback. And as I was speaking of them having just 1 goal difference, aggregate now comes down to a 6-6, I believe, scoreline, which is then again going to be an interesting one. Nonetheless, the job isn't done yet, because I feel an instant answer back coming right up for the side of Howard University. Howard have been really exploiting their possession. They have been someone who pretty much looked dangerous, but it feels that William and Mary might have just got a clear-cut answer to that. And now once again, trying to make a run, it's going to be the side of Howard University.
Yeah, again, a small difference in the playstyle that I noticed so far is that rather than playing towards the middle of the field, they are playing more towards the corners. Like Willem and Mary trying to get the possession toward the sides rather than the center, like we saw in game number 1. I think that could be what is a small bit of change up around this time, I think. And again, the aggregate score is 5 for both the teams. And let's see who will be the one to break this curse or the one to break the shackle. But nothing is going to be happening in this first half. There is another half that we need to wait and watch. But for now, the aggregate score is 5-5. 3 goals for the side of Willem and Mary, 1 for Howard University in this game number 2. The first game, it was 4-2 in favor of Howard University though. And I feel like, again, because they have played each other so much, because they know the strategies of the other team so much, they have developed the counters, and William and Mary might have figured out how Howard University will be planning to play this game this time around.
Exactly, and I feel the way this entire scoreline has now formed up, I do believe that there could yet be a chance for them to really give those comeback. But it really comes down to how the second half is eventually going to go on. Like a 3-1 lead in the first half of this go of the entire game, and I think this game completely is going to define how you expect the rest of the half to go. William and Mary have really given that, answer back of 4-2, which we had witnessed, and now moving things up for the second half. This is going to be the final chance for one of these two teams to really progress. If William and Mary actually manage to score another one, we might be up for a tiebreaker, and we'll have to look after the other shots, because if the score actually comes down to aggregate difference, it comes down to the most number of away goals, and if that too is same, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. But a missed chance this time from the side of William and Mary, and that would have been a real nail in the coffin right there, because that would have been the first time they would have actually been on the lead, not just in game but also aggregate wise. But well, with Ray still looking for an opportunity, but a good defensive duty is being maintained from the side of Howard University, and they look to counter push in the very start of the second half.
Yeah, Willem and Mary, rather than getting the defensive line set, they have their attackers going in so aggressive that I think the defenders on the side of Howard University have their work cut out for them, going in for these tackles, going in for these pressures. I feel like keeping possession in this defensive line is pretty difficult, and there's a lot of again another attempt trying to pierce this defensive wall from the side of Willem and Mary, but again desperately just holding on for it, holding on to it for now. And maybe not. Again, trying to get the ball forward. It's again Winnie Jr. being that spearhead, piercing through the defensive wall once again. He is the one doing a similar duty as Lewandowski is, but Lewandowski just has to be the one assisting. Vinny has to be the assisting one. He needs to be the scorer. He needs to be the shooter. He needs to be the spearhead. He has a lot of pressure being placed on him. But that one player, I think, again, midfield a bit more fumbling. Valverde. There is Xiaomene. Back to Vinny Jr. going again to the corners, to the sides. That is where the play is happening. And I feel like Willem and Mary are capitalizing on these sides of the fields rather than the center. Bellingham trying to find someone in the middle, goes for the pass, goes for a shot, but deflected by the defender. For now, back to a corner kick, a short one this time. Vinny Jr. once again going to that long pass toward the midfield. Rodrigo having the ball, will try to step over, but will be losing possession. Getting it back, Rodrigo once again, but nope. Chance for a counter-attack. Ferran goes for the lob, but I think it's a bit off the mark and will be picked up by the defense.
Exactly. And I feel Mendy has been cautious after that one yellow card he gets, but a big lob pass, trying to make a way right in the counter field, but not the most successful one yet. Howard University has been down 2 goals, and the way we see the setback actually coming to a reality It feels that William and Mary might really have a chance here to really get them the match and actually a lead too. But I mean, it's going to be about time, we believe, how situations are going to be turned down. But nonetheless, this is looking pretty interesting for the side of Howard University as they still manage to move on and get a chance to score right here. Bellingham gets the ball back, and it's going to be a missed pass yet again. The possession is lost, and it's the ball back towards the side of Howard University. But I feel that they have been really, jumbling up their entire play right when they are about to go for a counter. Felix this time looks promising. The pass is perfect. Lewandowski gets intervened. Keeper yet again being the MVP right today. And they have had some magnificent save moments for themselves.
Yeah, and again, looking at the stats, though, the aggregate is still being even throughout, 5 and 5 for either of the sides. But oh, that did not go out; just barely makes it back in, and the play does resume. But looking at the aggregate score, it is still 5 and 5 for either side. But as Arcon did mention, if the aggregate does remain the same, other stats will be counted, like the away goals, which will be advantageous for side of Howard University, because I think they scored more away. They scored 4 goals, like the last time around, and I think William and Mary will have to get at least one more to stay alive. But the thing is, it is a revenge match. It is a fight for that top spot as well. I think Howard will be toppled down if William and Mary does manage to upset them this time around. Trying to find another one in the box. Goes for a shot, but there is the defender. One more shot goes. And again, Sagan, the goalkeeper, comes to the rescue, I think for the 5th time today. Doing a lot of work. Going for the shot corner once again. We see Winnie Jr. passing back to the mid Modric. Going for Valverde, again losing possession inside the defensive line, goes for trying to go for the tackle, but will not get it this time around. Pedri has a kind of straight shot towards the goal as well. Lewandowski will try to step over, but will lose possession in the midfield once more, going for the lob. There was a bit of a fight with the defender, and I think did not make it there in time.
Exactly, but nonetheless, I feel that the game has been so interesting. We are right here on the edges of a seat, and now it's down to the final 5 minutes. How is this going to go down? Felix having one opportunity. This could be the chance, and this is going to be a goal. Oh my god, what a dramatic end to this entire game. Still, it's going to be an outside, and I feel it's going to be rewarded for the side of Team Howard University. Pedri having a long pass right towards Felix, who has been brilliant. Lewandowski, another perfect pass towards Rafinha, but he is going to yet again jumble up, and it's going to be the side of William and Mary who will play the time here. William and Mary, if they really want to win this game, they have to score to evenize the away scoreline and to actually get the lead too. But this through ball, this looks promising all of a sudden. A pause has indeed been queued up, but the pass comes all towards the side of Rodrigo. Oh, the pass back is perfect. Vinny Jr. He just had a shot right before he could get intercepted. The slide is perfect, but the game might have been long gone away as 1 extra minute is down. And Howard University probably realizing at this point that all they need to do is just stop the play right here, or maybe go for another attempt. But the interception being made, the full-time whistle being blown up, and Howard University being 2-0 in the head-to-head matchup will once again go ahead. And what a game right here. I feel like a big props does goes to William and Mary for I believe making it look possible. Let me remind you that this is still gonna be a 0-2 scoreline, which means that even though the aggregate was all up towards a 5-all, the more number of away goals you do, that is what gives you the advantage. But nonetheless, I believe brilliant stuff from both the teams. Having an equal aggregate does means and does itself explains how interesting it'll be. But I don't feel that there will be a golden goal there to decide, as I might have been mistaken that it's not the away team who will be just giving away the victory right there. If there is I believe a tie in both of these games, teams are going to be deciding to go head up against each other and actually, I believe manage themselves to get a golden goal, which is, I believe, pretty interesting. So excuse me for my misinformation. That was a little, mistake from our side, but nonetheless, How do you feel about this game? I think first day and already such a dramatic series we're facing.
Yeah, the first game though, I feel like William and Mary were expecting that kind of aggression to come out from Howard University because again they have faced each other long ago. They have faced each other time and time again. They know what kind of aggression to expect. But the second game, that is where William and Mary really did pop off. Like starting off with a scoreline as well, Vinny Jr. taking it away, and then I think Lewandowski did assist for the second time on the side of Howard University. But then it was like they did not get possession. The attack, again, the change in strategy was that rather than focusing on the middle of the pitch, they went more towards the edges. And I feel like that is where the formation of the side of Howard University was a bit more weaker. So trying to get all the way to the other side of the pitch and then trying to find one man inside the defensive box, securing that goal. I think that did work out two times. Vinny Jr. did manage to be that spearhead, did manage to get those key crucial shots in as well. But again, the goalkeeper though, how many saves? There was one post, there was 5 saves, all from the side of Howard University, and that was like so key. Though one shot was saved by Courtois, the like all the others goes to the side of Howard University's goalkeeper as well. But wonderful game coming from William and Mary the second time round, and well played Howard University as well.
Well, I feel this time I feel Howard University are going to be the one who will once again get the home advantage, and
Hmm.
it's going to be a pretty interesting battle up so far. Let's see how the entire game eventually does turn out, because I'm going to be pretty excited to see how this action is going to go down. I'm pretty sure that golden goal is
So
going
it's
to
like a
be so
15-minute
interesting.
half, 15-minute half
I
with a
think they're gonna
golden
play
goal.
for the
Or?
entire, minute, unless we get a goal from any
Okay.
one of these two teams. So I believe that's gonna be the case. But the game is gonna get started pretty soon. So let's quickly take a look after how the entire situation is gonna be turned down. And it seems both the teams are actually going up with
Oh,
the side of Real Madrid. So I mean that's pretty interesting. Nonetheless, a corner kick, and now it's gonna be Vinny Jr. who will be taking things up.
oh my God! Again, a pretty fast aggression being shown from one of the teams, and the goalie did have his work cut out for them. Vinny Jr. again still just waiting by the corners. We don't see any Lewandowski this time around. There's only Vinny Juniors on both the sides, but maybe the difference in the formations might be what is key this time around. But again, throw-in being awarded to the side of Howard University, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, there we go. That was a small foul being caught out. Anyway, this time it was just the first 5 minutes, though I think we saw at least 3 shots being taken from one of the sides and being very aggressive early on. That's what the side of William and Mary did the second for the second game. The first time the Howard University did, I think, get away with a score pretty early on in the game. I think within the first 5 minutes, they were able to get that assist on Lewandowski in match number 1. But this time around, William and Mary are kind of putting up their defensive line pretty strong as well. And again, trying to find the man inside the defensive box. Maybe no. Just barely missed out. I thought that would either be a penalty or maybe another attempt at goal as well. But again, the lob fails to find his teammate and possession being stolen.
Exactly, and I do feel that Howard is going to be the one playing on the white, while at the black jersey we have William and Mary, and a pretty interesting chance to them towards the corner
Ooh.
field, as they are going to come right straight up towards the bottom ground, but the interception being made, and now the ball is going to be back with Rodrigo. Lewandowski could have made a clean chance, but the defensive duties as good as ever. 20 minutes almost inside the game, and once again Vinny Jr. beats two defenders, passes it back towards Bellingham. Let's see if Bellingham would really play the wing run right here. There's a player who could really go on for a clean run, but for a moment I do feel that William and Mary kind of realize that the defense is going to be so important. Howard just playing around trying to get an opening. They do get one, but the interception then again being made with the ball looking at the dangerous position. A clearance is just skewed down, And there comes a pretty interesting clearance, but nonetheless, a quick interception, and the ball is back with the side of Team Howard.
Yeah, again, these lobs failing to find that precise pass or the precise player that they're looking for. And Rodrigo, once again, goes to the fake, has the opportunity, but will be losing it this time around. But again, what I'm looking for is something interesting. I actually don't want either team to score over here. Maybe we can go for a penalty shootout. That could be something interesting. That could be something different rather than the golden goal, or like imagine for the next 90 minutes neither of the team scores, we might have to go for a penalty shootout. Do we go for the shootout?
I believe so. I think golden goal.
Yay.
If
No.
it does goes to penalty, I do believe the rule book is like we all are going to be nerds and going down to hit the rules book. But I do believe 90 minutes. Like we have seen the first game go 4-2, while the second game comes down to a 3-1 scoreline. So nonetheless, I do believe that's going to be the case. But the goal this time comes in from the side of William and Mary's. And man, have they came back from the big loss they had in the earlier season. Man, this is just so dramatic. Howard University coming to be the clean, sweepers after the first game, and after that, it all going down to this. Man, this is just so interesting, and I believe that's going to be it for the game as well. The teams have called off the game. A perfect way to end things up. It's going to be William and Mary, nonetheless, who will be taking
My
things
hopes
up.
and my hopes and dreams are the ones that shattered with that goal. I was waiting for that penalty shootout. I was actually hoping for it to happen, but damn. But again, huge props to Willem and Mary. Again, finally breaking that curse, breaking that 2-0 defeat, breaking the spirit of Howard University as well, and maybe even securing that top spot, getting it away from the side of Howard University. Willem and Mary did bring their A game for the game today. They did do their research, they did do the work, they did do the homework as well, and it all paid off in this day number one.
Exactly, and they couldn't have asked for a better start of the season with being seeded with one of the revenge matchups, which was a long time due, I feel. And finally having that, right on the back of the corner, having this win, I do believe is going to mean a lot to the players itself. So we'll ask the players if they want a quick interview, but nonetheless, I believe you guys stick around and we'll be right back after a pretty short break.
Be carefree, like you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. First game of the season in 2024 for the EGFC Season 5, and it's been a banger. It's been a dramatic end. William and Mary, they win their revenge matchup despite being down, I believe, almost from 4-1 4 to first game in their home match to the second game where they had a complete lead. And I cannot wait to interview the side of Brent, who is going to be just right up with us. So I mean, let's bring him in. He's going to be pretty excited as well for the entire interview, because I want to see what that face is entirely going to look like after him winning it. So Brent, thank you for joining with us, and how does it feel to get that final revenge matchup victory by yourself? All right, I feel.
Thank you guys for commentating.
Thank you. I think we have lost you on cams, and you might be having a little internet back and forth, but nonetheless, we'll give you time to settle down. This is going to be a pretty, I feel interesting.
Exciting time for him as well.
Oh, yeah, I think so. So, sure. Brent, just let us know once you're going to be back. But as I was saying, a pretty dominant way to end things up and actually, get yourself back for the entire set of games. And I do believe that this is going to be one of those starts which you kind of might have really expected it to go through, because if it wasn't for the entire season and those top two, seed, I do believe that it would have been real, tough spot for him. But nonetheless, we have Brent's back with us, and hope you're able to hear us loud and clear. Congratulations on that victory. How was that? How does that revenge matchup feels right now?
Oh, it was an exciting game. I thank you guys for casting it. You guys did an excellent job, and it was just nice to get the season started again. And it was a difficult match. Howard was a very difficult opponent, but we were able to come back and get the win.
Yeah, and I think the first game you were like at a 4-2. They had a pretty early lead, and then you took one, but they had like three back-to-back goals, if I'm not mistaken. But the second game, you kind of changed it around a bit, and then took the early lead, and it went to a 3-1 score. So, what was the difference? Like, what was going through your mind after game number one ended, and like, what kind of strategy were you like thinking? Okay, yeah, I need to change this maybe a bit so that I can get the lead in the second game?
Yeah, so it was difficult because at the beginning of the first game he got an early goal, so he had a huge lead. It was 3 goals by the beginning of the second game, and then I saw that I was stepping a little bit too much with my defense, and Lewandowski was just turning way too quickly, way too easily, and once down for a little bit, I got 1 goal, 2 goals, and then I got the third goal. I knew it was a tie game and that we were gonna go into the second half strong, and then the game thankfully stayed in our way. He had a chance at the end of the game to win it at post or a goalkeeper save, and luckily we went into golden goal, and I was able to survive just a little bit more and get the golden goal.
Okay.
Exactly, and I feel like coming out to speak about Lewandowski, I do feel that you getting the Real Madrid versus Real Madrid in the final game for the golden goal, was that something that he had saved up if everything goes south? Maybe you're going to challenge him on his own lineup, or does it have to do more with, like if it's a golden goal, you want to pressure early, and the presence of midfield and the attack, which Real Madrid has, kind of looks way more powerful compared to having, Barcelona. So this change, which we came to see from the start of Harvard University, how was your initial look to that?
Well, I didn't expect him to switch teams because he was doing so well and so Barcelona. He ended up transitioning to Real Madrid, and I saw that the attack with Vinicius and Rodrigo were very difficult to stop. But I think it worked in favor because I played with Real Madrid for a little bit more, so I kind of know which foot they're gonna go with each player and how to shut each player down. So thankfully, I was able to get away with it and use Real Madrid to my advantage.
Okay, so I feel like him picking Real Madrid did actually help your cause, because even while we were commentating, while we were casting, we were like, oh my God, Lewandowski is like a madman. He's like a crazy person running around the field. He is going to be so much trouble for the enemy as well, for Brent, for you. And Real Madrid did not have that one key player to get those through balls in, or that much mobility. Or I think Vinny Jr. was the one who was being the spearhead for your team, right? Yeah. So again, did him taking Real Madrid actually help your cause?
I think it did help me. I think he did very well with Lewandowski, just holding up the ball as that 9, and he didn't really have that with Real Madrid. So it helped me a lot. It made me relax a little bit on defense. I knew that Vinny is not as strong as Lewandowski, so I could I could step in with him and win the ball back a little bit easier than I could with Lewandowski.
And I believe great stuff. You couldn't have asked for a better start for the season. Good luck for the upcoming weeks. Hope you actually not just maintain to give up that comeback in the top 2 spot, but actually make a room for the number 1. But before we sign off, I have just one final question. If you want to give any shout outs to this victory, if you want to just dedicate this victory for someone, the mic is all set for you.
Just thank you to my teammates and my the organization for giving us the opportunity to play, and thank you to EGF for casting the game.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And we can't wait to see much action from you guys. We won't take much time for you. Thank you so much, Brent, for tuning with us. And hopefully we get to see you more in the future interviews. So you have a great time. We'll see you soon too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh man, that was a great, I think it was great to hear from him. And somewhere down the line, I do believe that if William and Mary actually continue this form, they could really be the one contending for the number one spot alongside a team like Howard University and Montana, who clear could have, the number one spot. But up next matchup we did had from the side of Montana State University, but it feels like they are not going to be available up for today. It's just been the start of the year. The reschedule is just going to be up, and we'll be updating you guys soon on the EGF Twitter handle. So do make sure that you guys are connected with us on the socials as well. And before we sign off, how does it feel to be back, Ruin Jerry?
It's been quite some time that I have been here, and I think that first game itself did give me a kind of boost, and I want to see what Brent and William and Mary have in store. Again, hoping to see him for again further interviews in this winners podium, and I hope they have a good run forward. Howard University also, I hope they do perform spectacularly, trying to snatch back that position number one that they did lose this time around, and maybe a return revenge onto William and Mary as well. So best of luck to all the teams participating.
Exactly, and thank you so much everyone for tuning in. This was one of the most epic battles we have had in quite a moment, but it doesn't stop here. EGFC Season 5 action remains unstoppable. Starting from today, you guys are going to see each and every games that the teams are going to be competing, all the university, all these players. It's going to start off with Monday having CS2. Then we are going to come down to EAFC 24. We'll have the side of Super Smash Bro. Then it's going to be none other than Overwatch and even Valorant. And if that's not enough, we also have the Sun Conference, which is going to be going alongside on this channel as well. So today, it's going to be it from our side as well. But the show doesn't stop here. Within the next hour, we'll be having CS2 and Overwatch action right here at Official EGF. So you guys stick around with us as we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change, but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to